Okay, data nerds. So I quickly put together an overview of yesterday's high intensity Tuesdays training session along with the readings that I was getting. And I just wanted to state before we get started that I work out fasted. I just wake up, put on some clothes, and then come downstairs in my garage and work out. I don't eat anything beforehand. So all the readings that you're going to see are strictly from exercise and not from anything that I ate. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of training posts incoming. You have been warned. Okay, let's get this party started, huh? Okay. After 5 rounds, this is where we are. So this is right after the second metcon. Going up. This is 4 rounds into a bodybuilding circuit. Okay, much better than last week. This is 7 rounds into bodybuilding circuit. Okay, we're kind of sticking there at the top. So that's the end. That'd be 10 rounds. Bodybuilding done. Let's see where we're at. My training session is done. So there you go. It's coming back down. Still have plenty of glucose in my blood, but I'm done. I'm done with my training session. And now all of the data on one screen for my data nerds. Here you go. So my final thoughts on the readings, I don't know if the readings are good or bad or what to do about it, but I am going to continue investigating and researching. But it is interesting information regardless, and it does show that my body will respond to high intensity by absolutely flooding my system with energy once it reaches a certain intensity. And it was only actually after the 2 mini metcons were done that I reached my peak blood glucose levels, which, you know what, it kind of shows that that's how I feel during training after the metcon is done, is actually when I feel like I want to, train more, continue training. And it makes sense now, at least for me, because my body does still have a lot of energy just like floating around in my system. And I feel good at that moment in time. And that overview was 60 minutes. And you could see after my 1 hour training session, I still had kind of like a lot of energy to use. Though now I'm stopping at an hour. As an endurance type athlete, I always kind of feel like I have more energy to keep training for longer. And that's kind of, I want to say, reflected a little bit in the readings. Again, I don't know if that's good or bad. That's just what my body is used to doing or knows how to do very well. So yeah, I'm gonna continue researching and investigating and kind of try to use this data to my advantage in recovery, and also probably training more or less or just better in general. Yeah. So now that I've had a little bit of time to reflect on the data, it got me thinking that if I wanted to perform my best on a workout that was scored for a competition, like let's say the CrossFit Open, I would actually tailor my workout so that I was doing that metcon kind of at the peak saturation of blood glucose and energy. So for me personally, that would mean maybe doing like a mini metcon before I tackle it, or kind of like a very high intense warm up in order to trick my body into flooding my system with all the glucose and energy. So yeah, that was just kind of something that I thought about after the fact. That would be an interesting test. Yeah.